Okay, we are on lesson number 5 already with little Piper. She had 2 visits with me last week, 2 visits with Jay. Alright, so we are going to get started for this week. Put it down for a second. We're just going to review kind of the things that we left off with last week. Oh, you want your harness to be a toy? No, that's not a toy. It's what a chicken is. So we're going to start just a couple repetitions of charging the clicker. Maybe just 2 or 3 reps of that. These treats are a little crunchier today, huh? I'm going to click and pair that with the treat. And then we're going to jump right into following a food lure. Good girl. Okay, here you go. Have her follow that lure and click and treat her for that. We're going to do this a few repetitions. We can pair it with her name. Piper. Good job. These little pieces, yeah. Piper. Good. Piper. Very nice. Maybe one more of those, then we're going to try a hand target. Piper. Good. So now I've just got my flat palm. Piper. Touch. Good. And we call the nose target touch. Piper. Touch. So I put my flat palm out, ask Piper to touch, and when she does boop her nose, I click the clicker and I follow that up with a treat. Piper. Touch. Good girl. Very nice job. Maybe we'll do one more hand tiger. Piper, touch. Nice. Okay, I'm just going to toss a couple reset get it cookies. Get it. Get it. Here we go. The important thing with that get it cookie is that the puppy sees where you throw it. Woo! And as always, we're going to have a little toy play in there. What is that, chickie, huh? You like your little chicken? Get it. Hopefully he doesn't think about my scarf as a toy. It's a little chilly out today. What is that? Get it. Woohoo! Oh, you don't get those for free. I think what I'm going to do here next is get her a little harness on. Piper! She's sniffing for those treats. Yes, she is. I'm going to about lure her up for coming up. Piper! Good girl. Up. And whenever I pick Piper up, I'm going to pair it with that word, up, so that it's predictable for her. Okay, let's get your harness on. Hang on, hang on. She wants to eat her treat. I know. Oh my goodness, the harness is terrible, huh? Okay, there you go. There you go. And once I get it on, I'm going to feed her a treat. So pairing, getting her harness on with a cookie, and we're going to try those hand targets again. Maybe make it easy with a food lure first. Good job, Piper. Good girl. Touch. Nice. Piper. Touch. Good. Okay, let's do some position changes. So we think we were doing some lured sits last week. Let's see if we can think about maybe getting a lured down out of Piper as well. That'll be new for this week. Okay, so this one's sit. Beautiful. Good job, girlfriend. So for down, we're going to have the cookie in front of her nose. And we're going to slowly bring that cookie down towards the ground. Trying to keep her connected with that food the entire time. And we're going to see see if she wants to kind of push herself back into that down position. I'm waiting for the dog to get chest and elbows on the ground before I click the clicker and deliver the treat. And when she does go down, I'm going to set that cookie right by her front feet so she doesn't have to get back up again to eat it. And then if I want to reward her for staying in the down, I can click again and feed her another piece for maintaining that position. Or if I just want to try the whole thing over again, I can do one of our get it reset cookies. Piper, get it. Yeah. Good girl. Sit. So Piper knows sit pretty well. She's even responding to the verbal hand cue to sit. And we're going to try lure down again. And right there, once she has chest and elbows on the ground, that's when I'm going to click the clicker to mark that behavior, and I'm going to feed the treat. Okay, I think we could do this one more time without it being too boring. Where are you going? Yeah, you got your harness on. Go get it. So we're going to do the hand signal and verbal cue for sit. She's responding very well to that. Click and cookie for going in the sit position. Very nice. And now we're going to do a lured down. There we go. Good girl. Oh, it's a little sloppy right now because she's just learning this down, but it'll get a little cleaner as the week goes on. And hopefully she'll follow a hand signal and a verbal for the down position too. What's that? Get that, chickie. I know you like these snacks, huh? Want to try this though? Ooh, the rope. That one's so much fun. Huh? Get. Here, move your mat for a second. There you go. Want the rope? Oh, you hear people upstairs, huh? Good, shake. Good girl. Try something else? You want to play with your toys right now? Yeah, you want the food, huh? Okay. Alright, we're going to do her mat. We're going to start with a few repetitions of step 1, just like last week. Get a few snacks in my hand here. Oh, now you want the rope, huh? Okay, we're going to try this first. When she comes over to the mat, I'm going to click the clicker and I'm going to feed her a couple of treats right on the mat. I love that she's putting herself in this down position. Okay, after she eats that third treat, I'm going to pick the mat up from underneath her and I'm just going to move it. This is what we worked on last week with Piper. When she comes over, click the clicker, and feed her about 3 treats in a row directly on the mat. So notice I'm not feeding the food to her mouth when we're doing mat work. I'm putting the food right on the mat. We're going to do that one more time, our step 1 in the mat behavior, where I pick up the mat, move it to a new location. I want to see that the puppy wants to come over to it. I click when they're on it, and I'm going to feed about 3 cookies in a row. I mean, this could be like 3 to 5 cookies. I'm doing 3 right now. Alright, so step 2, we're actually going to maybe start this the same way that we did step 1. I am going to move the mat initially. And when she comes over, I'm going to click that clicker. and still deliver, oh, I don't know, about 3 treats in a row. But now instead of moving the mat in step 2, I'm going to move the dog, and I'm going to do that with our Get It cookie. I want to see that no matter where I toss the food off the mat, so I want to throw the cookie so the dog's getting completely off the mat. Get it! Whichever direction I throw the food off the mat, I want to see that the dog will come right back to the mat. So again, in step 2, instead of moving the mat, I'm moving the dog. Good girl. Now I'm going to throw our reset cookie this way. Go get it. So go get it means you can chase the cookie, you can leave the mat. As soon as she comes back to the mat, I'm marking it with our clicker, and then she's getting about 3 pieces of reinforcement right in a row for coming back to that mat. Oh, good girl. Can you do it this way? Go get it. Yeah, there it is. Get it. So I want Piper to completely leave the mat so that she has to come back and deliberately come back to the mat. I love that she's putting herself in a little sit on the mat. That's great. Whoops. That one's not a Get It cookie. And I'll try to do this from each direction, having the dog leave the mat from each direction. So finally this way. Go get it. There she goes. Oh, those back feet didn't leave the mat, but that's okay. I'll take that. I love that she just scooted herself backwards to come back to it. Good girl. Alright, so since this is the first time doing step 2, we're going to end it there for now, because we got 4 really great repetitions from her. So I'm going to give her one more final Get It cookie. Go get it! And I'm going to pick up that mat and put it away for now. Alright. We're going to do a little variation on her name game. So, Piper! Before we were just kind of like loading her name with a treat. Piper! Or maybe having her follow that food lure paired with her name. Piper! Okay, now I'm going to try to get a little bit of distance, so working first foundation steps in a recall with teeny tiny baby puppies. Now, training a formal recall in your dog is going to take a while and a lot of time commitment. Go get it! But we can start to shape these foundation steps now while our puppies are really little. Piper! So you'll notice I'm not using a recall word. I'm just teaching Piper that she should respond to her name, come towards me when she hears her name, and then good things will happen. And this one too, I like to pair with a Get It cookie after they come to me. Piper! Good girl. So I'm actually going to click while the puppy is moving towards me. That's the behavior that I'm marking. I'm marking the fact that the dog is moving towards me. Sometimes people aren't really sure where to use the clicker when they're working on recalls. But what you want is for the dog to move towards you. So you want to mark that action, okay? When I clicked before this last time, actually, I think she actually shook. So I might have marked the shake too. But we'll see if we could do that again. I'm going to give her a little reset cookie. Get it! I'm going to move myself over here. Piper! And I clicked while she was moving towards me. And then you probably noticed when I was closer to the camera, I'm actually dropping like, I don't know, 3, 5, 7 pieces of treat for her coming over to me. I want it to be like this great big huge deal that she came to me. Good girl, Piper. And she's backing up right now because she's still just getting used to moving around with this harness on. Good girl. I just clicked her because she offered me a sit. So what's nice about the clicker is that you can capture any behavior that you like with the clicker. So So I like that Piper's sitting here and she's being patient for our next repetition. I could click that and feed her if I wanted to. Now I think she's being a little sad. Again, she's thinking about the fact that her harness is on. Oh, she's climbing in the potty box. We'll see if she wants a potty break. What do you think? You just exploring? Good girl. Get it. Do one more of these. Piper. Good girl. Very good. What a little sweetie. Good girl. Okay, I think another new thing that we're going to do today is work on her crate a little bit. This is for me. This is for my knees. Okay, let's see. Let me set this up so that the camera can see. And it's here. And we're going to bring the crate over here. Very good. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so you really should be playing crate games with your puppy during other times that aren't just when you have to lock your puppy inside. So this is how we start to create a lot of value for the crate and how we teach a dog to want to seek out their crate. Okay, so I'm just going to start by just having the crate present. I've opened up the door, okay, and you could do something like maybe toss a toy in there, but what I'm going to do is mark any movement from Piper towards the crate with the clicker. So that means if she turns around and looks at the crate, I'm going to click the clicker and feed her. If she starts to walk towards the crate, I'm going to click the clicker and feed her. And then certainly if she steps into the crate, or if we can get some more movement inside the crate, I'm going to click that and feed her too. So she just looked at the crate, so I'm going to click and feed her for that. And she looked at the crate again, so again, I'm going to click and feed her for that. You could also, to make it more enticing, like toss a toy inside the crate if they like that. You have a favorite toy or something? What? What are you crying for? Good girl. Did you hear other doggies upstairs? Yeah. About one up there. So while she's getting that treat, I'm just marking the fact that her head is in there, even though she's in there to get a treat, and then I'm going to toss another one inside. So it doesn't matter that she's already eating a treat. I can just mark the fact that she's in there and then toss another treat in. Those treats were kind of like crumbs. Hi. clicked because she decided to step in. I think the biggest thing that's important here is, you know, this isn't a time where I need to put Piper inside the crate and close the door on her. So that she can take her time. She can back in and out of the crate as she pleases. If she wants to step inside, I'm going to click and drop another cookie for that. But if she grabs the cookie and then backs out again, that's totally fine. This is what builds trust and confidence in the puppy to want to go inside the crate. And you see, if I take it at her pace, this fell in her fur, then she's going to get all 4 feet in. Did you bring that one out with you? Okay. I dropped a cookie in and it landed in her fur, and it was just hanging out in her fur. What do you think? Hi. What? Is that all you want to do with the crate today? Good girl. Okay, we'll give that one a break. So this is called shaping, where I'm not trying to lure Piper into the crate, but if she offers it, I'm going to mark it with the clicker and then feed her a treat. So it's a little bit different than luring with the food. I like to try to keep shaping sessions short. There you go, you got that crumb. With puppies, because I don't want them to get frustrated not knowing what I want from them. So we got some good repetitions of her climbing into the crate. So I'm going to take a break from that one and we'll try it again tomorrow. Alright, let's see, where are we at? Oh my goodness, we should do a little bit with some handling and then probably wrap it up. What do you think, Piper? Let me get your mat back out. I'm going to take her little harness off. There you go. Good job. Come here. I'm going to pick this mat up. And we're going to lay this down. Doing. Oh, good. Piper is so magnetized to her mat. That's great. Okay, so we're going to start with a couple of repetitions like last week, where I'm just going to practice handling her a little bit first, and then I'm going to introduce our grooming tools here. If she wants to check them out first, that's totally fine. Excuse me. Good girl. Okay. I'm going going to start with touching her ears. This week I'm going to pick up her little feet and I'm just going to look for her nails. There they are. And when I find them, I'm going to click that and feed her. Sort of prepping for thinking about nail trims. There's those nails. And do your back foot. Yeah. There they are. And your last back foot. There it is. Ooh, that's like a humongous piece here. Have that one. Okay, I'm going to get her up into that little stand position, just kind of mess with her tail. She wants to sit back down after, that's fine. I'm going to lift her lip to try to look in her mouth. Good girl. All right. Now we're going to bring the brush back out again. So I'm just going to start with a couple of repetitions of brush comes out, and I'm just going to pair that with Cookie. Let's say the puppy isn't afraid of the brush, then a lot of times it's like opposite. They think that the brush is a toy, so they just want to bite it. So I just want to teach the dog that brush comes out. You don't really have to worry about it either way. Your Cookie happens. Okay, and brush goes away. So in this step, I'm not even using the clicker, literally just making the association that brush means food. Oh, are you getting full? I heard you burp. A couple more things. So now that I've done that a few times, I'm going to start to bring the brush to Piper. Now I am going to use the clicker. I like to hold the clicker with the brush just like this. I'm not going to just start brushing her right away. I just want to make sure that she's okay with the thing coming towards her and touching her. So you'll notice that I just picked up the brush and I just set it in a neutral zone of the dog, which is typically somewhere on their shoulders. I'm going to do that a couple of times, coming from each direction as well. So I just came from my left to her right, and that might seem opposite on the when you're watching the video because I'm using the front facing camera and I think that sort of flips things around. But now I'm going to come from the other direction, so from my right to her left, and I'm going to make sure she's okay with that too. I might do that twice in a row. Okay, good. So again, a couple of things here. I'm teaching her not to be afraid of the brush. Some puppies aren't afraid of the brush at all, but they do think it's a toy and they want to bite the brush. So this is also teaching them not to bite the brush if your puppy's not afraid of the toy. So now that I've touched her with it a couple times and she seems pretty confident with that, I am going to stroke her with the brush. I'm just going to bring it down her back and click and feed her. I'm trying to time my click so that it's the end of the stroke, but the brush is still touching her. Okay, the brush is still on her. I don't want to click for taking the brush away. I want to click for the act of the stroke. You'll also notice that I'm using the back of the brush and not the bristles. This is kind of a strange feeling in and of itself. So you really want to make sure that the puppy is okay, or any dog is okay with something coming at them and being moved all around them before I use the bristles. So then if the dog is good with that, which she seems to be, then you can start to brush different parts of the body. So now we can maybe try her legs, right? So I'm going to pair picking up her leg with stroking, clicking, and offering the treat. We could do that to all 4 legs if you wanted to. I think for now, just for the sake of time, and I think she's getting full, I'm just going to do her front legs. Another place that needs to be brushed a lot is their chest. So I'm going to practice just bringing her head up and stroking her chest. Oh, that was perfect. And then tomorrow we'll get a smaller comb and we'll practice combing her face. Dogs with longer hair sometimes need a little bit more maintenance on their face. They might have like the eye boogers that are normal in all dogs, but they just start to kind of build up because they have that longer fur. So maintenance of their grooming of their face is really important. So we'll start that one tomorrow to get her building some positive associations with that right off the bat. Right? And that's where we're gonna finish up today.